Hi, this is Christine, and I've been asked to do a video from followers on another platform on the way that I read the playing cards, and I decided that I would share the way I read cards because there's many ways of reading cards. There's many books on reading cards, so in this video this will be the method of card reading that I do. The skill of card divination is in the direct meaning of the cards and the specific interpretation that comes from the combination of the cards. Therefore, I always read a minimum of 3 cards when I'm reading cards. Playing cards are straightforward, so if you learn the basics of each suit, you will soon master the art of fortune telling with playing cards, or cartomancy as it is known. Reading cards to discover the future or answer questions has been a practice for many hundreds of years from people from all walks of life. All you need is a standard deck of playing cards. I like to keep the deck of cards that I use separate from other cards, so my cartomancy cards are kept separate. The reason for this is that as you work with your cards, you will quickly become attuned to your cards, and your cards will become attuned to you and your vibrations, and therefore I believe you get a better psychic connection. There's also no reversals in the system that I use, and I also use the whole deck minus the jokers. However, if you do want to put the jokers in, we can talk about that up the track. What I'd like to do is talk about the first thing that I consider when I have selected a set of cards. Clearly, if you read cards, you know that you clear the deck, shuffle the deck, you cut it into 3, you either take it from the top or you fan the cards. I've got some cards here, so I'm going to switch the cameras over to the way I have them when I stream so you can see the cards, and we'll just work through a few patterns with the concept of colour and the way I use it. Okay, the first thing to consider is colour. Now, there's many fancy decks out there, but sticking to the basics with this system, red and black. Now, most times you may read in books, well, the first thing you start with is red is good and black is bad. And yes, that is true, but for me, it's a consideration rather than a hard and fast rule, because if you're going to work with this system and you'd like to learn it, what I suggest is, if you have your journal or a bit of paper, that you create a column where you have red and black, and then you come up with words yourself that come to mind when you think of this: hot, cold, flow, blocks, start, stop, warm, cold, the end, night, day, night, good, bad, soft, hard. It's sort of quite a lot you can come up with, and good to keep in mind in the back of your mind when you're reading your cards. They're not, so it doesn't become like a rigid rule. And another thing for me is I always have a question which I write down. Often in perfect world, I write down the situation and the question. When I'm learning a system or learning the cards, I would write down, or if I'm teaching someone, that you write down, well, a simple question: tell me what I need to know today. That way you're working with your cards daily. And I also, as I said before, we work with 3 cards as a minimum. And for the purpose of this, in the beginning, I'm just going to put them in a straight line. So if you were to have red, black, and black, tell me what I need to know today. Well, things start off well, but then there's some problems. It goes sour. It's maybe there's things you need to consider that may not be as positive that you would think today. Things just turn sour. Or if you were to have black and red, and the question is, tell me what I need to know today, well, things don't get off to a good start, and they don't actually clear up till later in the day, but then by the end of the day things are all running smoothly. Or you could, if the question was what's happening in my life, well, things have been troubled for a little while, but there is light at the end of the tunnel, or there's a positive end to it all. If you were to have red and black, things are going fine, but then there's a problem coming up around the corner, or things go well. If you get back to our question, tell me what I need to know today, well, things go really well, but by the end of the day things are not so good. There's problems that are going to come up, and you may need to consider that. If we had red, black, red, tell me what I need to know today. Well, things start off well, but in the middle of the day there seems to be some sort of hiccup, but however they are easily overcome. If you were to have black, I feel like those people with the cups shuffling them around, black, red, black, and the question is, tell me what I need to know today. Well, things don't get off to a good start, and then they turn out fine, but by the end of the day there's some problem that comes along. So, or just stay vigilant, because things are not as they seem. If you were to have red and red and red, tell me what I need to know today. Well, things are good. Things will flow well. All is fair. If you were to have black and black, there's tensions, there could be hardships, and there's no sign of it easing up today. On this note, given to take consideration to the question, which is a video all in itself, I just sort of touched on that today, so you can get started if you sort of want to. When for me, when our reading ends not well, because I don't like to leave people high and dry. I like to work, if you're reading for someone else, or you're reading for yourself, well, okay, things don't look good today. We'll take this one. Things don't look good today. What can I do to overcome it? And therefore you would put down some more cards to get a story of, even with your colours, on, well, what can I do to overcome that? How do I deal with that? Or, you know, give me how long will it last, in the sense, which is a timing video, but more on how will I deal with that, what do I need to know, or give me the tools to deal with it. So I hope that's been of help to you, and if you find there's value in this video, please subscribe, ring the bell so you get a notification when the next one comes up, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. So thank you so much for watching.